A new bombshell audit finds that 36 people who died while they were in police custody over the last 20 years in Maryland should have been ruled as homicides by the state's top medical examiner. Instead, they were classified as accidental or natural causes or simply undetermined. Now, that audit took a year, and it cited racial and pro-police bias in the state's Office of the Chief Medical Examiners as contributing to the misrulings. For nearly 20 years, the state's Office of the Chief Medical Examiner was led by Dr. David Fowler.
These findings have profound implications across our justice system. They speak to systemic issues rather than individual conduct. We recognize both the gravity of these findings for affected families and communities and the importance of surrounding law enforcement or supporting law enforcement officers who navigate difficult situations while upholding their duty to protect Marylanders.
Now, the recommended reversals include some of the state's most controversial in-custody deaths. They include Anton Black, Tyrone West, and Dondi Johnson. We're joined right now by Justin Fenton, a reporter with our media partner, the Baltimore Banner, with more on that audit. Good to see you, Justin. I know you got a real in-depth look at this a day ahead of the rest of us, and so you really have taken a look at it. So the governor said today that this audit, as we just said, was prompted by Dr. Fowler's controversial testimony in the Derek Chauvin trial, the former officer convicted in the death of George Floyd. Talk more about that.
Yeah, Dr. David Fowler, as you said, was our medical examiner for nearly 2 decades, from about 2003 to 2019. After he left, he became an expert witness at trials, and he was hired by the defense in the George Floyd case, the death of George Floyd, where he testified that, in his opinion, he was not killed by anybody, that he would have classified it as undetermined, and that it was drug use and heat and possibly exhaust from a car that might have contributed to his death. That opinion really alarmed a lot of people. There was an open letter signed by over 400 medical professionals who said, this isn't right. And if this guy thinks this, and he's the one who's been classifying cases in Maryland, we think you should take a look at it. So the Attorney General at the time, Brian Frosh, said that he was going to do just that. And this has been years in the making.
So the audit, we just heard the Attorney General say that he felt it was systemic. He didn't blame individuals. But in the audit, did they say that they believed that this racial bias was calculated? Was it a direct attempt to side with police in these cases?
Yeah, I think their findings showed that they did find that, although they couched it very carefully to say that that wasn't exactly what they were looking for in this audit. What they did was basically get expert pathologists, and they each gave them cases and said they stripped it of specific information, asked them to look at it, asked them to make a determination without knowing what it had been ruled, and then they sort of compared them. And so it would be 3 experts at a time. And in these 36 cases, all 3 agreed that it should be homicide when that wasn't what it had been ruled at the time. There's an additional 5 where 2 out of the 3 found that it should be ruled a homicide. Those are being looked at too. I think an important thing to stress here is that, the medical examiner's determination of homicide does not mean a crime was committed. Anytime a police officer shoots somebody, for example, that's a homicide. He's caused their death. But as we see in most cases, they're ruled justified, so there's no criminal charges brought. But this does change the metric. If there's a ruling that nobody caused the death, it's almost impossible for anybody to be charged with a crime. So what they're going to do now is take a new look at those cases with the notion that there's been experts who say that this should be a homicide, and see whether in fact charges are merited.
Yeah, we're having a little bit of difficulty with your shot. We should say that all these cases were before 2023. I assume there have been changes in the medical examiner's office since then, with some new leadership. Very quickly, these have national implications. This audit has a national implication, does it not?
Yeah, the people who put together this audit said that they were working from scratch here, that they think that they've developed a blueprint, and that the things that they found are probably not unique to the state. And so if others were to undertake such a thing, they might find similar results.
All right. Thank you so much, Justin. I urge everyone to go to the Baltimore Banner, read this report. It's very insightful, and it's important information. To find it, and other great independent reporting, go to our media partner, the Baltimore Banner, thebaltimorebanner.com.